All right, next game, Notre Dame and Clemson, which, look, coming into the season, we thought this was a big-time matchup. With Clemson's mediocrity this year, it's kind of taken some luster off it. Notre Dame, 2.5-point road favorites, 45 being the total here in this game. If I knew how Clemson's mindset was going into this game, I'd be more interested in betting this game, but I don't.
Do they have a mindset at this point?
Like, to me, the reason I liked NC State last week after the Miami loss, which was their second loss, it was a devastating loss. It took them out of the ACC championship picture. No playoff hopes anymore either. And I said, Clemson's used to playing for big things, big conference championships, playoffs, national championship. Now that's all out the window. And I said, I don't trust them against NC State to show up. And sure enough, they were terrible. At least on offense, they were. They look like they are they're crestfallen. They're disheartened. This is not what they signed up for when they were recruited by Clemson. 4-4, fucking mediocre football team. That's not what they signed up for, these kids. And I think it's getting in their heads that, hey, our season's like, what are we playing for now? Just to get to a bowl game? Just to play in the fucking Mayo Bowl? I mean, that's like, yeah, that's really
Duke
what
Mayo.
Duke Mayo Bowl. I mean, that's really that's the expectation now. That's what the goal has to be, because it ain't the playoffs anymore, the championship, or it's not even the ACC championship. You can't win that anymore. I mean, to me, it's hard to trust these kids to be motivated. I think if there's one spot and one game that down the stretch they might be up for, it could be this. It's Notre Dame coming in home to Death Valley, or coming into Death Valley here. But I can't bet Clemson based on what if. What if they're showing up for this game? What if they're into it? But what if they're not into it? What if I get the Clemson that looked hungover from, a season of expectations that's going to fall way short, and they played like it last week against NC State in that loss as 10-point road favorites? So I probably have to, by default, lean to Notre Dame. They are the better team. Do I have questions about them going on the road, winning a big-time football game? Yes, because they did lose to Louisville. Now, they did beat Duke, but again, they might have lost that game too if Riley Leonard doesn't get injured. So Notre Dame on the road is still a little flighty for me, but I don't know if I could put my money on Clemson right now. I worry about the psyche. I worry about the mentality. Dabo's had a chance to show me if he could rally the troops last week prior to the NC State game, and he couldn't. They were terrible. They were awful in that game, and I'm not backing them here. I worry about where their mindset is, where their heads are at. Kids that think they're coming here to play for championships, and the best they can do now is the Mayo Bowl or the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, or some crap-ass mediocre fucking bowl game is the best thing Clemson can achieve now this year. Not what I want to see. What do you think here, Conor, Notre Dame, Clemson?
Yeah, it just seemed you go to Death Valley. This is not a spot. And this is right, though. Notre Dame should be favored. They're 7-2 ATS. Clemson's 4-4 and 2-6 against the number. And Notre Dame, one thing I love is their defense. Clemson's defense is all right. For what they've been, but not very good. Notre Dame's defense is for real. And the last year they beat up on them. That was at home. But I think the more and more they played Clemson too, the last couple of years, like tight losses, and then finally beating them. It won't be easy there in Death Valley, but I think it's just Notre Dame or nothing here.
Yeah, good point, Bar. Hey, good to see you, Jacksonville Zoe, in our chat. That's a good point about the NC State offense. That's not a great offense, and they were a lot more successful here last week against Clemson's defense than I thought they would. I kind of figured the offense wouldn't do a ton. Cade Klubnik really struggled against NC State last week.
Awful. Yeah. How about the week before in the Miami where he pulls the ball and Dad was like, I didn't call that. He just there's problems there.
There's problems. Dabo even looks beaten down. I mean, he really does in this press conference. He looks beaten down. This is new territory. This is foreign territory for him. A team that's 4-4 after their first 8 games. When's the last time that's happened to him? When's the last time that's happened to Clemson?
Yeah. Bankroll, he says, motivation, of course. I don't know. Shit. I don't know if you want your money on that.
You're betting based on assumptions and guesswork right now that maybe they pump themselves back up because it's Notre Dame coming here for as their opponent that they play spoiler, but I don't know. I didn't like what I saw last week at all from their offense.
And they still have injuries.
Yeah,
shit. It's rough.
We do. They do. I'm not saying for sure that I'm going to be on Notre Dame. It's the only side I would bet in this game if I'm getting involved in it.